Welcome to the FMCG Guys podcast, live from the Retail Media Summit Canada in Toronto. I'm Daniel Torres, and I'm lucky to be accompanied by the VP and MD of Walmart Connect Canada, Leanne Gibson. Thanks for joining.
Oh, thank you for having me.
How are you? Enjoying the event so far?
I'm great. It's a great event, and a big portion of our team is here, and
Nice.
so tons of learning and opportunities to network.
Are you guys based in Toronto as Walmart?
We are
Okay.
in Mississauga, just
In
outside of Toronto.
Mississauga. Yeah. So a few CPG companies based in that area, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Great. So we've had in the CPG Guys, which is our sister US podcast, a few folks from Walmart Connect have joined them, like Seth Dallaire, for example. So you're actually the first Walmart person, family of companies, if you like, person that joins the FMCG Guys. So this is great, and I'm very excited about this. Maybe you can tell us a bit about Walmart in Canada and specifically about Walmart Connect and what you guys do.
Absolutely. Well, Walmart has been in Canada for 30 years. We're celebrating our 30th anniversary this spring, so that's pretty exciting for us. We have 403 stores, and the Connect team, Walmart Connect, or the Walmart media business, has been in the market since 2015, but it was really in 2021 where we did a rebrand and hired and invested in resources from a tech and people perspective. And we started working very closely with the US team. I think one of the big opportunities for us, if you think about this growing industry, is to look at the US, which is a market that is fairly ahead of us. And that's natural, not unexpected, the US market. And we have this playbook to leverage and learn from. And it's been wonderful for us on our growth journey.
And what's your responsibility, your objective as the MD of the business of the Walmart Connect Canada?
For me, it's really about setting the vision for the team. And that vision is really to connect brands with Canadian shoppers and help accelerate growth. And so it's really getting the team behind that aligned goal and building the business. I will say one thing that's very important at Connect is we don't work in a silo. Our success is highly dependent on the rest of Walmart Canada. When we think of the partnership with the merchandising team, where we share customers, if we think of the importance of e-com, and that is, the platform that's really content and an important relationship for us, in-store operators, when we think about in-store advertising. So the rest of the team, and I could go on. Now I've mentioned a few, I haven't mentioned them all, but it's really important in our success.
Yeah, you just can't work as like a silo of media and so on without knowing what's happening day to day in the business. No?
Yeah, those are important partners.
Yeah, no, absolutely. What is going to be your focus in retail media this year? So I thought it was quite interesting that you said how behind you are. You feel like you're behind the US. So where are you on this journey?
Just to level set, I don't think we're behind in the US. I think generally Canada as a market, when we think of media, we think of digital advertising, the US is typically maybe 18 months, 2 years ahead.
Interesting.
So it's always an opportunity to learn and leverage. But when I think of the focus areas for Canada this year, there's many things, but if I boil it down to our precise priorities, one is growing our search business, making it more relevant. That is an enormous opportunity for us. It was mentioned in the presentation, about an hour ago, that 70% of retail media dollars are coming through search. So it's important to get search right.
Well,
the other thing that we're focusing on, the second is our measurement. And again, that was also referenced, the real opportunity is to really button down those measurement solutions, moving past return on ad spend and talking about incrementality, talking about new to brand metrics. And the third area of focus is in-store. If we really think about the value proposition around being omni, that is a canvas for us to continue to grow and innovate. And so again, working with Walmart and our in-store operators and partners, how do we really accelerate those opportunities in store?
And it's interesting, because retail media has gone really from like a performance marketing type of tool to being like a full funnel proposition. How do you see that as well? We just heard the sentence, retail media is media, no? So
absolutely. That's the real opportunity is operating in the entire funnel. And, some media companies start at the top and work down. I think it's a beautiful thing when you can be at the bottom of that funnel and driving performance. We have shoppers who are literally at the point of purchase. They've got that purchase intent. So the conversions and what we're able to see with sales is incredible. That said, going up the funnel, you also have customers who are in a discovery mode. And that's been really important in terms of our education and how we've evolved with a lot of our partners.
Yeah, because the FMCG, CPG companies have to understand when they make that investment and with the lack of standardization that there is now, but they have to understand that it is a full funnel type of investment. No, that it's not going to just drive more sales, but it's just going to build their brand at the same time.
Absolutely, and we have a lot of discussion with our partners around that, and there is a real appetite to, learn and grow and experiment in the entire funnel.
What about in-store? What type of opportunities are you seeing there?
In-store, we do a lot. We partner with Stingray on in-store audio, and that's been something that's really taken off with our partners. There's a lot of appetite around in-store audio, also digital screens in store, and also signage. I would say going forward, when we think about where retail media is, it's two things. It's going up the funnel. It's also going in the store. And we look at that as a canvas. What can we do? How can we test and learn and experiment with in-store advertising? Because it really does differentiate us. Again, there's many ways where retail media is unique, but one, when we think of the competitors we talked about earlier, which aren't just the other retailers, but they're the TikToks and the Pinterests and the Metas, the difference between us is we have the customer in store with purchase intent.
Yeah. What about AI? What do you think it will play a role?
AI, we're talking a lot about this. If I step back and think about Walmart has been investing in technology for years. And there was a lot that came out of CES this year. Walmart had a very big presence there.
I heard about that.
A lot of talk about AI and what we can do. And some of the language that we use at Walmart is around being an adaptive retailer. And what that really means is that's about leveraging technology to make a better experience, not only for customers in store and online, but also for associates. So if we use the example, and this was used at CES, you're planning a Super Bowl party or you want something for Super Bowl Sunday, maybe you're going online to get guac and chips, but if you've got AI, all of a sudden AI can help you plan that entire Super Bowl party. So again, it's making things easier and servicing customers. If I bring that though into retail media and where I see that opportunity, I think it's a couple of things. One, it's around more precise targeting that we can deploy. And the second is, and it was also mentioned earlier, and I completely agree with it, it's around search and that personalization. Consumers like good advertising. They might not realize it, but it's a good experience when it's really relevant. And I think there's absolutely a role for AI to play there.
Yeah, maybe like targeting the right people. And I think, and probably it is true that AI can help for that, but as well, we can't only rely on AI in terms of like creativity and it's probably like the strategy behind how you use AI, which is really going to be decisive here, no?
Absolutely. And I think down the road, there could be more tactical things that how can AI help us from media planning, operations, and even content creation.
Yeah.
And that's some are already experimenting with that.
And we know that sometimes, especially for CPG manufacturers, driving investment towards retail media can be a challenge, no? Like what challenges are you seeing them having?
The CPGs?
Yeah, for CPGs or in general, when we talk about retail media, like why isn't even more investment going in that direction?
I think we're getting there. I think it's early days. Everyone talks about the third wave of digital after search, after social. I think the appetite, for the reasons we all know, the increase in e-commerce, that first-party data we can leverage, closing the loop, a brand-safe environment. I think where there are some challenges in just where we are in the journey, call it the maturity maybe, it's early days. So the feedback we hear from customers, and I sit on the IAB Retail Media Committee, yes. I would say it's the number one topic of discussion is measurement. And I've learned something in my career in digital advertising. Measurement is important. So is level of effort. So some of the partners are, wow, I'm working with these different retail media networks, but everyone has a different measurement, and I'm not able to align and prove out outcomes. So that's going to come with maturity. It's going to come with standardization, and it's really important for us to get that standardization and increase that level of effort to make it a simpler, more efficient way of working with the industry. So lots of work being done with IAB. And just where we're going, but that's the number one opportunity. Yeah,
it will be interesting to see, like, if we talk in a year from now, where we will be on that journey. And the Path to Purchase Institute actually surveyed several CPG brands recently who shared some challenges of working with retail media networks. And among them was spend requirements, data, like lack of data, closed loop reporting, and the lack of ability to prove ROI. What advice do you give those CPG partners that took all these challenges?
I think it's a couple of things. It's one, letting us work with them to educate and bring them along. Another would be, though, it's not just think of us for the bottom of the funnel. Think of that full funnel. And, when we think about minimum spends and all of that, there's an opportunity to stand back and look at this and really think about outcomes and what you want to achieve. It's important to have enough of a spend in a media campaign that we have the scale to test and learn and to look at proper outcomes. And when I say outcomes, not just focusing in on that bottom of the funnel ROAS, but let's stand back and think about incrementality and what that could look like. And then it's a bigger conversation.
Yeah, it becomes like much more strategic as well,
Much
rather
more
than
strategic.
how many clicks am I getting on this particular ad. For the event, we're starting it still. Anything you've learned or anything you're expecting to learn from it?
I would say things that maybe I'm aware of or have heard before, but when you stand back and see it and someone else is articulating it as well, the slide and the discussion around, broadcast networks and the scale, and then comparing retailers and seeing how much larger that scale is. And again, the customers are in the store. It's just a reminder of the opportunity we have. And I would say as much as standardization and coming together on alignment needs to come together, as an industry in that room, we're talking about the same thing. We see the same opportunities, and I think that's really inspiring.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much, Dan, for joining today.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.